Hey guys, Huck Sportscards here. Hope everybody's having a blessed day. Well guys, today on this episode, I want to talk about, are the 1980s cards now vintage? On my last episode, I talked about, my favorite era was the 70s, and my second favorite was the 50s of baseball cards and everything. And I had some comments on there, and some people, had the 80s in there. That was their favorite era because that's what they grew up on. And I started thinking, if you're between the age of 40 and 60, you probably collected a lot of 1980s baseball cards, right? And so now that you're older and everything, because I'm almost 55, I'll be 55 this year, are the 80s cards, are they considered vintage now? Some people do consider them vintage. I know, now see, for myself, I always considered vintage cards from 1979 and back, right? And, but I know some people that consider vintage cards 1985 and back, because really in 1985, a lot of people believe that was the last year before the junk wax era years, which was probably true, because I think in 1986, that's when they really just started pumping the print runs out and everything, and just making so many cards of every player. So do you think that now that we're getting older, that, we should consider the 80s cards vintage? I just thought I'd throw that question out there today. But I'm going to show you some 1980 cards that I like. And, I don't really consider them vintage, but maybe I should now that I'm getting older. So, but guys, let's go take a look at some 1980 cards that I really like. All right, guys, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to show you some cards from 1980 all the way through 1989. And my question was, do you feel like the 1980 cards should they be considered vintage now? Now, I asked my son that, which is in his 20s, and he said, well, sure, they're vintage cards. Well, to me, they're not, but maybe my thinking is wrong now. Maybe they should be considered that. So obviously, the Rickey Henderson is the best card in the 1980 set, and it's a pretty cool design. I kind of like the 1980 design myself and everything. The backs of them, are just blue, and got some cool designs. Obviously the stats, and so I kind of like that. I think this 1980 design is really good. They just don't have very many good rookies in there. Obviously the Henderson is the main one. So then you got the 1981 set, which don't have really any good rookies in there other than the Harold Baines. And I don't know, I just think that this year, the 1981 year, was just kind of bland. I mean, even the back, I don't know, it's just kind of bland, like I said, so I'm not a big fan of the 1981 set. But like I said, the Harold Bain is the main rookie on there. That's pretty much it. You can get this set pretty cheap, honestly. Now the 1982 set, I really like the design of these. Obviously the Cal Ripken is the main rookie card in that one. And to be honest with you, this Carlton Fisk card might be one of my favorite photos in this decade. I just think it's a really awesome picture. I love the in-action cards in that 82 set. And once again, you can get that at a very reasonable price. So, and the backs on these are just normal green and everything. So nothing major to that. Now, the 1983 set has 3 Hall of Famers on there, rookies. This might be one of the best, the rookies out of this decade. The best set for the rookies, I guess you would say. And the backs of these are kind of just orange, I guess you'd say. And thought they're pretty cool. I mean, design's okay and everything. I mean, I like the design on the front of these. Not too bad. Now the 1984, the main rookie in that one, obviously, is Don Mattingly. And now my son, he said that was his favorite looking set. So let me see, let me flip one of these over. And the backs look pretty cool. I thought that was a good design for the back also. And everything, so not bad. Then the 1985, to be honest with you, I thought was a little bland. Honestly, I didn't have the McGuire. I didn't want to start pulling a bunch of stuff out of my complete sets. So these are just extras. But you know, as you can see, there's the design of these. And you know, I don't know. It's, to me, it was kind of bland. Once again, there's the backs of them. So. And then 1986. So now my son thought that these were the worst designed, and actually I thought they weren't too bad. Not the best in this decade, but not the worst. So, you know, and there's the back of them. So that's a cool picture of Ozzie there. It was kind of in the Cardinals' heyday, playing in a few World Series in those decades. Now here's the 1987 set, which actually I would say might be my favorite one in this. Now obviously you can get a million of these cards. Without a doubt, they just overprinted them. Because really, I really think they started overprinting in this 86 set. That's really when they started overprinting. So I think anything from 85 before is not, you know, doesn't have as many, I guess. So, but I do, like I said, I do like these. I like the color of the back of the cards also. So, not too bad. Obviously, the Barry Bonds is the main one in this set. In 1988, Tom Glavine. And I got another Ozzie in there, don't I? How many Aussies did I put out here? Oh, just two. I was gonna say, I thought I had more. Mike Smith there. Now, I thought this design was pretty good. I didn't think it was terrible. So, it definitely matches the table, the color, right? But yeah, I thought this design was decent and everything. So, and then last, the 1989. And so that's where you had the Atlanta Braves pitching staff with Tom Glavine. And these three guys, which were a dominant pitching staff. So, you know, that design's pretty good. I mean, it's not terrible. I mean, so, there's the backs, which I like the backs of these. I thought these backs were pretty cool. So, all right, guys, well, that's the 80s, so, and it's just the tops. And like I said, I think that probably the 87 was my favorite. So probably my least favorite was probably the 81s, I guess. Yeah, these right here, the 81s. All right, guys, once again, let me know what you think. Hey guys, well, I appreciate you watching today. And like I said, let me know what your opinion is. Do you feel like the 1980 cards should be considered vintage now? And also, let me know what your favorite set is in that year, the design. What's your favorite set design? All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you watching today. Until next time, we'll see you later.